Hey, I'm Yeva, and welcome back to my craft magazine challenge, where I challenge myself and you guys to dust off old magazines and find some great inspiration. They are full of great ideas. Today, I'm inspired and kind of scraplifting a page by Chris Sylvester from Creating Keepsakes magazine from February 2011. That's the layout right there. I'm hopefully going to try to keep it there in the corner and try not to cover it up with all my papers. I've done a little bit of pre-planning here with the layout. It's a 2-page layout featuring 7 total photos, and I have 3 photos that are 6x4 and 4 photos that are 3x4, so a little bit smaller. And I'm really loving the combination and the layout that she has created for this little feature in the magazine. So the papers I'm using is the background paper, that wood grain, is an older American crafts paper. And the white it's actually creamy ivory color, plain cardstock. I had a hard time with my background papers. These photos are quite busy. It was a hike that we did, and I had a hard time playing. That's why I did a little bit of pre-planning. I think this is why I'm so inspired by going back to these magazines and looking at sketches and all these other designers, because it's such a great starting off point and a great way to scrap and get your inspiration going, especially when you're having a hard time finding a starting point or getting your mojo or getting back into the rhythm of scrapbooking. I think just picking up a magazine and finding something that you're inspired by, whether it's the amount of photos or just the layout or a technique. This is such a great way to use up those magazines. So I totally encourage you guys. Please tag me in Instagram. I'd love to see what you guys are creating and making and how you're being inspired. My Instagram will be down in the description below. So back to this layout and the fact that I'm really inspired by Chris and her 2 pages and all the photos. So with my sketches, I try to stay pretty true to the sketch and the layout or the design, overall design of the sketch. I think that's just an easy thing to do, and then you can adjust with embellishments or of course the pattern you use or even sometimes the photo sizes. Here I'm bringing in some Dear Lizzie from her New Day collection. And I'm loving that dark paper with the floral, and I'm going to put a strip of it on the bottom. And this is where I'm kind of adjusting it from the original sketch, but again, just slightly. She has a punched border, like a scalloped border at the very bottom, and I decided to keep it straight. She also ended up cutting it off to where the photo stop, or that photo mat stops. I ended up kind of pulling it out and stretching it out. And again, this is my interpretation of it. I think that's the best thing about sketches, is that you can do whatever you want. It's just a starting off point. And this is where I'm going with mine. So I usually love having lots of different pattern papers on my layouts, and I was struggling with this one because there were so many different photos and the photos were quite busy. I didn't know how to really bring everything together, and one thing that I know always works is drawing a nice little line. Sometimes I do a double line all around, giving it a border and kind of drawing everything in together. So I'm really happy with how that works. Here I was really struggling with that red piece of strip, and I was testing out other different colors and patterns because that red was just feeling too much. Plus with that little journaling box I want to use is too much. So here I'm settling on the yellow. Not settling, I chose it. I'm really happy with it, with the choice I decided on. And I think it just kind of warms everything up. It reminds me of the day, bright, sunny, all the good things. So here I'm actually measuring off or marking off my paper on my background to gut it. Whenever I have a background paper that's a pattern, I like to gut it from the back just so I can use it for another time and just get more use out of it, I guess. The only thing is this paper was a thinner paper, my background paper, so I guess I didn't have to. Anyways, in the end, it worked out fine. So that's what I do. I mark it off, and then I leave about an inch or so, cut it off on my trimmer. So here I'm just going to start committing, gluing everything down. That little note journaling card had a llama of it on one side, but the other side was fine. So I cut off the llama and so I can use the lines, and I'm going to commit. By the way, how do you use llama layout? I'm not really sure. They're cute. Maybe it's just me that I don't know how to use it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how you guys use llamas on your layouts. So working with two-page layouts can get a little tricky, and I have a little tip on how to make everything line up right and look like it's just one continuous page. So here I overlap the page, or the top page that I'm working on. I overlap it and line up the strip that I'm gluing down to match up with the other one, and then I just glue down, or I use a T-square ruler also to make it straight. So here I'm adjusting something else, but I'll show you it again. I overlap the page, I line up that strip that I'm gonna glue down, and just press it down. Make sure you have glue on the back, just like this yellow one right here. So I get it all ready, line it up, and just press it down. So I hope that made sense. So here I'm gonna start working on the title, and I make a big mistake, you guys. I make a big spelling mistake. So I write Camelback correctly. It's the mountain. I forget to put an N. I think it was one of those moments where you stare at the word too long and you don't know how to spell it. It just looks wrong, whether it's right or wrong. Well, I was wrong this time. Sorry, but I do fix it, and in all the photos, in the end, it is right. So there we go. Here I pull out some One Canoe 2 sticker book and Amy Tangerine for the word and a few little embellishments here and there. I found that the One Canoe 2 Creekside collection had a lot of like hiking phrases and things that involved outdoors, so I love that, and I made sure to bring that in. I also have to mention I brought in some vellum circles. I debated whether to do that or not, but I felt like everything was very square and rough corners and harsh, that I wanted to bring a little bit of softness. And I understand this is a hiking trip, so everything was rough and hard, but I just wanted to bring a little bit of softness to the page, and the circles really do the trick, and I'm really happy with it. It gives a little subtle touch, and I'm really happy with that. If you've seen any of my other videos, I use vellum circles all the time. I'm loving them. So I'm actually finishing up the layout, just putting the last few little bit of touches, word stickers, phrase stickers, things like that. And I'm also going to put the dates on the page. Whenever I do a two-page layout, I like to date both pages. I don't know, there's just something about knowing that these are both together. Not that it's any more obvious because I'm using the same stuff. The other thing I noticed that I don't have a lot of gold on this page. My title has gold, and there's that big sticker that says love, and it's also gold. So I decided to sprinkle a little bit of gold throughout the pages. And speaking of gold, I misted or sprinkled on some gold mist. I love this, and it looks complete, and I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to show a couple close-up shots of my layout, and that pretty much finishes up the layout. I hope you guys can join me on this challenge of using up your old magazines for inspiration, and a lot of us have them, so why not pull them out and use them? Thanks again for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave any comments down below. I hope you guys can like, subscribe, and also check out my Instagram. I have a lot of other layouts and inspiration on there, and the link is down below, so check it out. I hope to see you guys next month for another magazine challenge. Join me, tag me. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again.